All right, you're live.
Hi everybody, I'm Bonnie Curry, 94.9 KLTY. It's time for On the Couch. This time, my guest and also a little bit my victim. This would be Mark Lee from Third Day.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
Really cool. So Mark's got a new book out. It's called Hurt Road. Ooh, Hurt Road. And it's in 3D. Look at that.
That's
Is that
right.
cool?
Yeah,
Is
we
that
spent
cool?
a lot of money on that cover getting that 3D effect.
So tell me about the book.
Okay, so the book is called Hurt Road, and when I travel around the country and I tell people about the idea of Hurt Road, they go, you know what, I get it. It's the pain and the struggle of the journey that we're all on, and that's true.
Right.
It's a metaphor, but it's also a literal place. And so when I was 14 years old, I was selling donuts for my church youth group, and we were set up on the side of Hurt Road. It's outside of Atlanta, where I'm from. And I had just walked out in the intersection, made my first sale of donuts, took one step back towards the side of the road, not knowing that the light had changed.
Right.
And so a truck comes through the intersection. I look up, I see headlights, there's no time to react. Next thing I know, I bounce up off the top of the truck, I get thrown up there, I fall on in the middle of the road. And you know how they say that thing where, I don't remember anything. It was the shock of the accident, so I don't remember anything. It was like the opposite for me. I remember like everything. Remember everything that happened.
Just like the Matrix. I can sense everything.
It totally was that kind of thing. And not giving anything away because this happens literally like the first 2 pages of the book. But so in that moment, I had a lot of just ideas literally just knocked out of me.
Right.
And the biggest one was, I'm 14 years old. I think I just know everything. As 14-year-olds do.
Right, they do.
I had this
genetically
great,
it builds up to that
exactly.
point. Yes.
Yeah, so I had this great plan for my life. I was going to finish high school. I was going to go to college. I was going to get this great job, get married.
Right.
It was all planned out, but I didn't have God included in those plans at all. And so for me, it took this accident for me to get thrown off of that path that I'd been on before onto this other path that it was painful, it was confusing. But it also led to me playing guitar. It led to the beginnings of Third Day. And so I wouldn't be here today as the guitarist for Third Day if I hadn't had that accident happen when I was 14.
Isn't that crazy how things like that can happen in our lives that seem like the worst possible thing? And I really will put you getting hit by a semi-truck right up there with really on the high list. By the way, can we just circle back around to the idea that maybe calling something Hurt Road is just kind of self-fulfilling? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Yeah, when they were that morning when they were assigning, like, now Mark, do you want to go to Hurt Road or do you want to go to Maple Street?
Right, or Daisy Street, or
maybe I should have said, I'll go to Daisy Street. Let's go pick Daisy
maybe do Good Time Boulevard.
Instead of getting hurt on Hurt Road.
I just feel like maybe the church should have gone, if we're going to do donuts, maybe don't do
let's stay away from Hurt Road.
I'm just saying, who named this street? Okay, so maybe in the future, maybe don't name your roads Hurt Road, maybe Danger Boulevard, maybe I just got hit by a semi-truck at the age of 14 and have my life knocked out of me road. That would also be a thing. But going back to the non-funny moment of Hurt Road, to overcome that, to be able to follow into a moment where now you're Mark Lee, your Third Day, you're touring around the country, the world, and you are pouring out on people every single night of your life. And how do you refill? Because I know there's a lot of people, maybe you're watching right now, hi, we love you very much, and you pour out on people a lot. I just recently talked to somebody who is a hospice nurse.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And she has the most amazing disposition. She's joyful, she's happy, she's loving, and all day she pours out into families and to people who are at that stage in their life where this is going to be painful, this is going to be awful. And I asked her, how do you refill? How do you fill back up? And she said, I do a lot of time in the Bible. I listen to a lot of praise and worship because she said, KLTY actually feeds her spirit so that she feels like, how do you, because you've led worship, you're a part of Third Day, how do you fill back up when you're at the end going, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah, and that's a great question because I think that there's a tendency for that to happen, for you to you're giving every night, you're up on stage, and when we're out on the road, it's easy to, you get kind of tired, and then that can lead to this kind of burnout sort of place, which is not a good place to be operating from at all. There's a concept that I talk about in the book, and I call it landmarks. I couldn't come up with really a better name for it, but I feel like we all have these landmarks in our lives, and I feel like we're all wired a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So it's going to be different for each of us. Some of us it may be sports. It could be for me it's music. For some people it's just spending time with their family or with friends.
Right.
And I feel like when things go bad, we have those landmarks to fall back on, and when things are good, we have those landmarks to celebrate. When we get confused and are not sure which way to turn, we have landmarks to help us guide our way on the journey. And so that's a big concept in the book. Actually, there's a outside of Atlanta where I live. There's literally a big chicken. There's a KFC. It's like a 55-foot chicken, and so there's a story I talk about in the book.
Why have I not seen this chicken? But
I mean, and and I don't think there's a picture in there I'll show you, but so we use around this part of Atlanta, we use that big chicken to guide our way around.
Of course you would.
Hey, so you're going to go up the road and you're going to take a ride at the big chicken, and I'm sure for people from out of town, they're like
big chicken.
What are you talking about? Oh, well, look, there's a big 55-foot chicken. So I feel like just as we use that big chicken as a landmark to be able to get around, we all have things like that in our lives that that are able to help us cope and help us to navigate
kind
through.
of help us. I like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe when you're stressed, maybe when you're finding yourself thinking, I have no more to give, and it could be just being a parent. It could be being in a caregiving situation. It could be leading worship. Whatever it is you do, maybe find your big chicken. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, maybe find that big chicken, that thing that in your life is, as Mark said in his book, it's your landmark. It's that thing that you can navigate to, that you remember who you are. You remember why you're doing it. You remember what is special about that, whether it be that you remember why and how you felt the first time. I know, how many kids do you have?
I have 2 daughters.
Yeah, 2 daughters. Do you remember how you felt when you realized that the baby was on the way? How amazing. That could be your big chicken. You know what I'm saying? That when you're up all night and you're thinking, okay, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Find your big chicken. Remember what your landmark is. And it could be just the simplicity of your faith. It could be remembering that God is sovereign in your life. He has a plan for you. There is something that is supposed to happen for you that is better, that is healthier, that is wonderful, and such a blessing. So find your chicken. Find your big 50-foot chicken in your life maybe, and navigate to that landmark when you're feeling stressed. Or call Mark at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to post his cell phone number, and so you can just text him and say, hey, dude, looking for my big chicken. Just reach out to him, or maybe don't do that. In the meantime, Mark Lee from Third Day, here is his book. It is awesome. When he's not busy touring and making amazing music with Third Day, you find time to write a book that helps people. That's kind of cool, dude.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I've been working on it for a few years. Excited to finally have it out, and hopefully there are going to be some people that get some good messages out of it.
I think so, too. So, from the couch, on Bonnie Curry with my friend Mark Lee from Third Day. We love you. Have an awesome and blessed day. It's 94.9 KLTY.